Hello everyone, John AG here. Welcome back to my channel, Aurex. If you haven't yet, subscribe to my channel. In this channel, you will find the real information, real market updates that everyone else simply cannot tell you. So please, subscribe to this channel, and I love you all, my subscribers, for your support. And please watch this video till the very end, because YouTube will not push my videos to more people. They do not want this kind of unfiltered truth reaching the masses. Your watch time, your engagement, and your attention to the very last second are the only weapons we have against an algorithm designed to suppress the reality of our global financial system. I am asking you to stay with me because the information I am about to share today, on this day, May 15th, 2026, is going to fundamentally alter the way you look at your wealth, your future, and the global economy. Listen to the silence of the mainstream media right now. It is deafening. Have you noticed how the financial anchors on television are smiling a little too widely these days? Have you noticed how they parade a seemingly endless line of analysts across your screen to talk about the stabilization of the dollar, the miracle of digital currencies, and the resilience of the banking sector? They are weaving an intricate, comforting illusion to keep you asleep. But underneath that calm surface, the foundation of the global monetary system is cracking, and the tremors are beginning to be felt in the one asset they have tried desperately to hide from you: silver. You are being lied to about the 2026 silver squeeze. The narrative being spoon-fed to the public is that silver is experiencing a temporary supply chain glitch, a minor hiccup caused by a few overzealous retail investors and some temporary mining strikes. They want you to believe this is a fleeting anomaly, a momentary flash in the pan that will soon be corrected by the brilliant minds operating the levers of the global economy. I am here to tell you, with absolute certainty, that this is the most dangerous financial lie of our generation. What we are witnessing is not a squeeze. It is a structural, permanent paradigm shift, a violent reckoning between a fantasy world of printed paper and the unyielding physical reality of the Earth's limited resources. To understand the magnitude of this lie, you first have to understand the magic trick that has been played on humanity for the last 40 years. When you check your phone for the price of silver, what are you actually looking at? You believe you are seeing the cost of a 1-ounce physical piece of metal. You are not. You are looking at a ghost. You are looking at a digital derivative, a paper contract traded by high-frequency algorithms inside the commodity exchanges of New York and London. For decades, the financial elite have operated a fractional reserve system in the precious metals market that makes traditional banking look conservative. For every single ounce of real, tangible silver sitting in a registered vault, there are hundreds of paper claims trading hands every millisecond. They have created an ocean of artificial supply, flooding the market with paper silver to actively suppress the price of the real thing. Why would they do this? Why orchestrate such a colossal global manipulation? Because silver is the ultimate barometer of inflation, and more importantly, it is the Achilles heel of the fiat currency system. If the true price of silver were allowed to reflect its actual scarcity and its vital industrial demand, the illusion of the purchasing power of the dollar, the euro, and the yen would instantly shatter. The general public would awaken to the devastating reality that their savings are melting away, and there would be a massive, uncontrollable flight out of government-issued paper and into tangible assets. The banking system, which holds massive short positions against silver to keep the price down, would face a catastrophic margin call. They suppress silver because their very survival depends on it. But here is the terrifying, beautiful reality of the year 2026. The paper manipulation has collided with a physical wall. The magicians have run out of rabbits to pull from their hats. You see, unlike gold, which is carefully hoarded and locked away in central bank vaults to be passed down through generations, silver is the indispensable metal of modern civilization. It is not just money. It is the most highly conductive, reflective, and thermally efficient element on the periodic table. We do not just store silver, we consume it. We destroy it. We lock it away in microscopic, unrecoverable quantities in the landfills of modern technology. I want you to think about the world we are living in right now. We are undergoing the most aggressive industrial transformation in human history. Every government on the planet has mandated a transition to green energy and electrified grids. The new N-type photovoltaic cells currently dominating the solar industry require significantly more silver paste per panel than the technology we used just 3 years ago. The rapid, terrifyingly fast expansion of artificial intelligence requires massive, energy-dense data centers, and the high-speed thermal switches and connectors keeping those servers from melting down are coated in silver. Our electric vehicles, our 5G infrastructure, the satellites orbiting above our heads, and the smart munitions filling the arsenals of the global military-industrial complex. They all absolutely depend on a metal that we are rapidly running out of. We are currently in the 5th consecutive year of a severe structural supply deficit. Global mine production has been stagnant for a decade, peaking years ago and now slowly declining due to a massive lack of capital investment, declining ore grades, and rising energy costs. The math is brutal and unforgiving. By the end of this year alone, industrial demand is projected to shatter all previous records, consuming over 1 billion ounces of silver. Yet, the mines will barely pull 800 million ounces from the ground. Where do you think the difference is coming from? It is being drained from the above-ground stockpiles, the very stockpiles that are supposed to back the paper contracts. The vaults are bleeding out, and the industrial giants are beginning to panic. And this brings me to a critical revelation, a piece of the puzzle that the Western financial media refuses to cover. If you want to know where the real war is being fought, you must turn your eyes to the East. While the media distracts you with political theater and domestic trivialities, the BRICS nations, led by an insatiable, quietly aggressive China, have been executing a masterclass in global resource accumulation. For the last 3 years, we have seen a continuous, heavy drain of physical silver leaving the vaults of the West and flowing directly into the East. They are not buying paper contracts. They are demanding physical delivery. They are taking possession. This is not a mere investment strategy. This is geopolitical warfare. The East understands that the era of Western fiat supremacy is entering its terminal phase. They understand that whoever holds the physical commodities will dictate the terms of the new global economy. By draining the physical silver, they are intentionally exposing the fractional reserve fraud of the Western commodity exchanges. When the day comes that an industrial giant goes to the COMEX to take delivery of the silver they desperately need to keep their solar panel factories running, and the COMEX is forced to declare force majeure because the vaults are empty, the price of silver will no longer be determined by paper trading in New York. The price discovery mechanism will violently shift to Shanghai, and the price of silver will instantly recalibrate to its true, devastatingly high physical value. I want you to pause and truly internalize what this means for you, for your family, and for the people you love. Behind the charts, behind the geopolitical maneuvering, there is a profound human tragedy unfolding. Inflation is not just a rising number on a government report. It is a stealth tax, a silent thief that comes in the night to steal your labor, your time, and your dignity. It is the reason why a mother working double shifts cannot afford to put quality food on the table for her children. It is the reason why the young couple looking to buy their first home feels like the goalpost is constantly being moved further away. It is the reason why the elderly are watching the retirements they worked 40 years to build evaporate into thin air. The financial elites have conditioned us to measure our wealth in currencies that they can print into infinity. Every time a central bank injects trillions of newly fabricated dollars or euros into the system to bail out their mistakes, they are directly diluting the value of your hard work. They are stealing your life force. For thousands of years, silver has been the financial shield of the working class. It has been the common man's defense against the arrogance and corruption of kings, emperors, and central bankers. It is the ultimate democratic money because it cannot be printed, it cannot be hacked, and it cannot be magically created by a committee of unelected bureaucrats. They lie to you about silver because they want you fully dependent on their digital systems. They want you holding digital dollars, central bank digital currencies, and abstract financial products that they can track, tax, freeze, and confiscate at the push of a button. They do not want you holding a physical, untraceable, universally recognized store of value outside of their matrix of control. When they call silver a barbarous relic, when they dismiss it as an outdated boomer rock, they are employing a sophisticated psychological operation designed to keep you detached from the very asset that could secure your financial sovereignty. As we navigate through the turbulent waters of 2026, the desperation of the establishment is becoming palpable. You are going to see the propaganda machine kick into maximum overdrive. They will attempt to villainize those who hold physical precious metals. You will see articles published in major financial outlets blaming retail hoarders for the shortage of critical industrial materials. They will try to frame your desire to protect your family's purchasing power as an act of economic sabotage. You might even hear whispers of emergency interventions, windfall taxes, or temporary restrictions on the purchasing of physical bullion to protect national security. Do not let their narrative of fear penetrate your mind. The crisis we are facing was not caused by the prudent individual buying 10 ounces of silver every paycheck to protect their savings. This crisis was entirely manufactured by decades of reckless monetary policy, the arrogant suppression of free markets, and the grotesque financialization of our global economy. They built a house of cards, and now they want to blame the wind for blowing it down. The 2026 silver squeeze is simply the unstoppable force of reality, finally shattering the immovable object of their deceit. I want to issue a very clear warning about what is coming in the immediate future. The volatility in the silver market is going to become violently erratic. You will see days where the paper price of silver is deliberately smashed down in the middle of the night during low liquidity trading hours. They will initiate massive short-selling cascades designed specifically to trigger stop losses and wash out weak hands. They want to scare you into selling your physical metal back to them at a discount before the true revaluation occurs. You must expect these engineered price drops and recognize them for what they are: acts of desperation by trapped financial institutions fighting for their lives. During these moments of engineered panic, you must remember the fundamental truth. The paper price is a lie. If the spot price on your screen drops by 10%, but you call your local coin dealer and they tell you premiums have skyrocketed and they have no inventory to sell, which reality do you trust? You must trust the physical reality. If you do not hold it in your hand, you do not own it. Those who are holding unallocated paper silver accounts or shares in heavily manipulated exchange-traded funds will eventually find out the hard way that their claims will be settled in rapidly depreciating fiat currency, not in the physical metal they thought they owned. When the music finally stops, they will hand you paper, and they will keep the wealth. Let us look closely at the gold-to-silver ratio, because this mathematical relationship is the compass that reveals the true scale of the opportunity before us. Throughout human history, the natural ratio of gold to silver pulled from the earth has been roughly 15:1. For centuries, this ratio held steady in the monetary systems of the world. Yet, due to the aggressive financial manipulation we have discussed, this ratio has been distorted to absurd levels, sometimes reaching 80, 90, or even over 100 ounces of silver to buy 1 ounce of gold. This is a mathematical anomaly that cannot be sustained in a world where silver is being consumed at an unprecedented industrial rate, while gold simply sits in vaults. As the physical shortage bites down hard in late 2026 and 2027, this ratio is destined to violently revert to its historical mean. This means that silver is not just undervalued, it is arguably the most mispriced asset on the face of the earth today. It is a coiled spring that has been compressed for decades, and the release of that kinetic energy will be a sight to behold. I want to take a moment to speak directly to the heart of this community. Aurex is more than just a YouTube channel to me. It is a gathering place for those who refuse to be sheep. It is a sanctuary for critical thinkers, for hardworking people who sense that something is profoundly wrong with the world and are actively seeking the truth. I read your comments. I see the anxiety in your words, the stories of struggling to pay for basic groceries, the fear of what the future holds for your children. I feel the weight of your trust every time I step in front of this camera. I do not share this information to induce panic or to peddle fear. I share this with you because true empowerment only comes from confronting reality head-on. Wealth is never truly destroyed in a financial crisis. It is merely transferred. The greatest transfer of wealth in the history of human civilization is happening right now, before our very eyes. The wealth of the world is flowing away from those who place their blind faith in the promises of politicians and central bankers, and it is flowing toward those who have positioned themselves in the undeniable reality of physical, tangible assets. We are living through the death throes of a global fiat experiment that has failed. The lies they tell about the silver squeeze are the desperate attempts to keep the patient on life support just a little bit longer. But you have a choice. You can choose to remain on the sinking ship of paper wealth, hoping the captain knows what he is doing, or you can quietly, methodically, secure your place on the lifeboat of sound money. Every ounce of physical silver you acquire is a piece of your financial sovereignty reclaimed. It is a declaration of independence from a corrupt system that seeks to drain your vitality. I need you to stay strong. I need you to remain disciplined in the face of the psychological warfare that is coming. Do not let the volatility shake you out of your position. Educate yourselves, protect your families, and above all, hold the line. The truth cannot be suppressed forever, and the physical reality of the market will ultimately dictate the terms of our future. Real value cannot be faked, printed, or digitally created out of thin air. Real value is forged in the earth, extracted through hard labor, and held by those who possess the vision to see through the grand illusion. Thank you for being here with me today. Thank you for your unwavering support of this channel. If this message resonated with the truth you feel in your gut, please share this video with someone you care about. Send it to the family member who is confused about inflation. Send it to the friend who is blindly trusting the traditional banking system. We have to wake each other up because the algorithm certainly will not do it for us. I love you all. I am John A.G. This is Aurex, and I will see you in the next one. Stay vigilant, stay prepared, and never let them take your power.